Chapter 3, Issue of Shares. Now, we are going to study about the topic offering shares to existing employees. Companies now offer shares to their permanent employees. We are here going to study about the various schemes, about the various options of offering shares to the existing employees of that organization. Under that, we now study the first topic, that is Employee Stock Option Scheme, ESOS. The permanent employees are offered to invest in the share capital of the company. These employees includes the directors, the permanent employees, officers of the company or its holding company or subsidiary company. So those employees which are permanently working with the company and who are called as the permanent employees of the company, or the directors and the officers of that company or of the holding or subsidiary company, are allowed to invest in the share capital of that organization. Only equity shares are offered for purchase. It is a contract between the company and the employees. That is, these shares are offered to the employees to be purchased. It gives the right to the employees to purchase shares at a predetermined price within a specified time period. So according to this, these employees are offered to invest in the stock. That is, they are given an option to invest in the scheme of the company. And so according to this, there is a mutual agreement between the company and the employees. So based on that, the employees purchase the shares at a price which has been decided. These shares have to be purchased by the company within a specific time period. Due to this, the employees feel more loyal and proud of being a part of the company. Due to this ESOS, the employees become also the owners of that company, and therefore they will show their total dedication towards the company because they know it that when the company is going to earn more, they will get more dividend also. Now let us study what are the provisions according to the Companies Act related to ESOS. The shares are offered directly to employees. That is, the board of directors may offer the shares directly to the employees of the company, or it can be set through the Employee Welfare Trust. So this trust offers the shares to the employees. Shares to be offered at a price lesser than the market price. So if the share is having a face value of 10 and having a market value at present at rupees 20, the shares may be offered at rupees 18 so that they are able to purchase the shares at a price lesser than the market value. An employee can purchase the shares within 1 year after he is allotted shares, so that the employee is able to have money and he can purchase the shares of the organization. The company mentions a lock-in period. Now, what is meant by lock-in period? Lock-in period means a minimum period before which the employees cannot sell the shares. So therefore, this owner, that is who is already an employee of the organization, can sell off the shares in the share market. But the company does not allow them to sell before a particular time period. And so this time period is known as the lock-in period. And so this period is pre-decided as to when the employee can sell his shares. The period might be at least 1 year from the period of option till the time he purchases it. And so therefore it is at least 1 year. And so this period is mentioned in this scheme as to when he can sell those particular shares. The employee starts getting dividend and can attend general meetings only after the employee purchases the shares. And so he has to actually become the owner. That is, he actually has to become the shareholder of the company. And so when he starts purchasing those shares, and after that itself, he is going to get the dividend, and he can also attend the general meetings. Therefore, this employee has to first become the owner, or he has to first become the shareholder, and then only he can purchase the shares, and then he can start attending the general meetings. Shareholders have to give approval at the general meeting. That is, the existing members of the company. They have to give an approval. There has to be a resolution that has to be passed at the general meetings. And only after this approval has been received from the existing shareholders, then the scheme can be introduced. The employee cannot transfer or pledge or mortgage the shares issued under the scheme. That is, he cannot transfer the shares to anyone else, or he cannot take a loan against it. He cannot take a mortgage. That is, he cannot transfer the ownership of those shares to anyone else for money. The company has to set up a compensation committee to look after the working of ESOS as per SEBI rules. And so, as per the SEBI rules, this compensation committee will see to it that the ESOS is offered to the employees of the company. And it has to see to it that the committee is observing the rules mentioned as per SEBI rules, and only then those shares are offered to the existing employees. Now, let us study the next scheme for the existing employees. That is the employee stock purchase scheme. Under this scheme, shares are offered to its employees at a discounted, that is less than market value rate. The employees can buy at a future date. That is, in this scheme, the shareholder can book the shares today at a price, that is at a particular discounted rate, and he can buy those shares at a future date. The employee can deduct a certain amount from the salary of the employees towards payment of these shares. The amount is, and so as per the mutual cooperation between the company and the employees, a amount is decided and the company deducts this amount from the salary of the employees. And once this amount starts getting accumulated, he then is going to purchase the shares of that company. The company utilizes these accumulated funds to then purchase these shares. Now, let us study what are the provisions related to ESPS. Different number of shares can be offered to different categories of employees. That is, this depends on the type of employees who are going to apply for shares under the scheme. The shares issued through ESPS have to be listed on the stock exchange immediately. And so whenever shares are going to be issued through this ESPS, they have to be listed. That is, the stock exchange has to be known that such shares have been issued to the employees of the organization. Shares issued through ESPS have a lock-in period of at least 1 year. That is, the employees cannot have any transactions about these shares. The company has to get the shareholders' approval at the general meeting by passing a special resolution. That is, these shareholders have to be intimated that the company wishes to have such shares for its existing employees. Company should follow all provisions related to ESPS as per the SEBI guidelines. So this might be related to the amount of shares that is going to be offered to the employees, or it might be related to the share capital as to how much it has to be offered to the employees. Let us study the next topic, that is stock appreciation rights scheme. So this is another type wherein shares are going to be offered to the existing employees. Under ESOS and ESPS, the employees have to purchase the shares. Here, these shares are offered that is according to the appreciation that is taking place. The company gives these shares, that is the bonus shares, to its employees whenever the company shares appreciate. And so here these shares are offered free of cost to the employees. So whenever the company shares are going to appreciate in the market. In this scheme, the company offers shares to its existing employees free of cost. The employee is going to be offered these shares. That is, whenever there is going to be an appreciation, it is going to offer to its existing employees the shares, and it is going to be free of cost. This the company gives the difference in the change in the market value of the shares. So, if the market value, that is, there is going to be a change in the market value of those shares, this ultimately increases the goodwill of the company. And therefore, the company is going to offer these shares as a gift from the company to its existing employees. The appreciation value might be given in cash or in the form of shares. The employees do not have to pay anything towards these shares. There is a lock-in period of 1 year for the employees to allow him to exercise the rights. That is, he is going to get the rights of attending the meetings, and so there is a period of 1 year. And so only after 1 year can he be allowed to transact those shares. The shareholders' permission is compulsory, that is the existing shareholders, employees of the company. So from them, there has to be a permission in the general meeting. A resolution has to be passed in the annual general meeting about the offering of these shares to the existing employees. The next type, that is sweat equity shares. So this is one more type wherein shares are going to be offered to the existing employees. As the name itself indicates, sweat, that is wherein the employees are toiling for the company. That is, they have worked hard for the company and they have worked so much that they have offered their sweat to the company. They have offered to be working for that particular company. They have shown their dedication towards the company. So, these shares are given to the directors or employees as a recognition to their contribution to the company. And so these shares are going to be offered because they have been working for the company. They have shown a loyalty towards the company. It is one of the modes of making share-based payment to the employees of the company. So wherein the company wishes that the amount that has to be given, instead of giving a cash amount, these shares can be offered, and so which is called as a share-based payments. And so these employees are going to become also the owners of that particular company. It is given at a discount or freely against a consideration, that is for any valuable services that they have provided. For example, it might be that an employee has provided some expert advice to the company, and so due to it, the company has prospered. The company has received great benefits. It has earned a marginal profit due to the concept that he has introduced in the company. And so, as a consideration, instead of offering him cash, the company may give the shares. It might be given free of cost, or it might be given at a heavy discount. There is a lock-in period of 3 years before the employees can utilize the rights.